Do you get shoulder pain when lowering your arm from an overhead position? A lot of people with shoulder pain and rotator cuff problems get shoulder pain not just when reaching up above shoulder level, but also when lowering their arm back down. And sometimes the lowering can be even more painful than the reaching upwards. I'm Dr. Dave Candy, and in this video, I'm going to give you some really simple tips to lower your arm from an overhead position more comfortably. Now, first of all, why do you get shoulder pain when you're lowering your arm from overhead? Well, the reason for that is when you lower your arm, your muscles have to work eccentrically. And what that means is that your muscles are contracting at the same time that they're lengthening. When a muscle contracts, it tries to shorten yourself. Kind of like if you're doing a bicep curl, this shortening motion is called the concentric phase of the exercise, and the lowering motion is called the eccentric phase. And what happens during that eccentric phase is that the muscle's trying to shorten, while in reality, it's lengthening. And what happens during eccentric contractions is it can create micro tears within muscles. And if you already have an inflamed rotator cuff or even a torn rotator cuff, then that lowering and micro tearing hurts quite a bit. So how do you lower your arm from an overhead position without getting shoulder pain if you have a rotator cuff problem or even a rotator cuff tear? Well, one very simple tip is not to lower it eccentrically. So if you're reaching upwards and slowly trying to control the motion downwards, what happens is that you're using your muscles to keep the arm from just falling. Versus if you let the arm just fall, it probably wouldn't hurt as much. Now, I'm not recommending that you completely just let your arm go, particularly if you're trying to get something out of a cabinet and lowering it down. You can't just completely let a dish go. But if you think about reaching up and then concentrically using your lat muscles to pull your arm down, it's a lot easier than if you reach up and then try to slowly lower it down using your rotator cuff muscles. So you use your lats, the muscles that lower your arm, concentrically versus using the shoulder and rotator cuff muscles eccentrically. Now, another tip to help lower your arm from an overhead position more comfortably is that you have to be able to maintain external rotation of your arms. When you're reaching upwards, you want to move your shoulder and shoulder blade at the same time, as well as keep your arms externally rotated as compared to internally rotated. When you internally rotate your arm, it brings a bump on your shoulder called the greater tuberosity under the arch of your shoulder where you can pinch rotator cuff tendons. And I've got other videos that show how to raise your arm more comfortably with those two tips. But when you're lowering your arm, particularly if you've been working overhead, working on wiring overhead, or painting, fixing your hair, doing makeup, anything where you have your arms up overhead for a long period of time, and then you come to lower down, if you lower down in an internally rotated position of your shoulder, then you get that pinching of the rotator cuff between the arch of the shoulder and the greater tuberosity. So when you are lowering, you not only want to pull down and use your lats concentrically, but you want to make sure that you maintain external rotation. So when you're reaching up, you want to keep your arms externally rotated. When you're coming back down, you want to think about maintaining that external rotation. It doesn't have to be quite this dramatic. You want to think about keeping your wrist turned outwards while you're lowering. And that allows you to lower your arm without getting your rotator cuff tendons pinched as you're lowering. So those were two simple tips to help you lower your arm from an overhead position without getting shoulder pain. Now, if you're in the St. Louis area and you need some more help for shoulder pain, we'd be happy to help you out here at More for Life. And if you found this video helpful, but you're watching from somewhere else, give the video a like and subscribe to our channel so you can get notified of our future videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.